I love Gordon Gekko quotes. Why did you wreck that company? Because it was wreckable. It relates to the music business. It relates to YouTube, particularly on the music producer, music production, content maker space. They're wreckable. The music industry became wreckable when they started sticking people with $16 CDs with 15 tracks, but 2 of them were good. Maybe even 1 of them were good eventually. So when the opportunity came along for people to download 1 song at a time, be that from Napster or from iTunes, and put it on their iPod, spend $1 or $2 on a couple of songs instead of $16 on 16 songs they didn't want that were clearly not good product, the music industry became wreckable. The recording studios suffered the same fate by overcharging eventually, $25 for a CD copy or reference copy, or $25 for a cassette, or, $300 for an analog reel. They became wreckable. So when the Porty studio came along, or the portable recording studio with a laptop and a cheap interface, there was hints at it when the ADAT came along. It was like, whoa, this could be dangerous for the big recording studios. No, that'll never happen. People always want to go to a big room and always want to record on a big console until they feel as though they're being ripped off, until they have other options. And then as other things became diluted, the quality, what the public was willing to accept, it became wreckable. YouTube music content creators and the production creators, that's a wreckable situation. I see so many, let's say, grifters and shills and phonies. I'll just say it straight out, frauds. I don't know where people are getting good content from with regards to music production that isn't tainted in some way, either tainted by information that is completely invalid, shill-based, because they're maybe trying to sell something. But mostly is they're just trying to sell a channel, trying to get views, trying to get subs and get whatever, likes and things that lead to these things. And then, there's all the other angles that go on. There are so many fakes, frauds, illegitimate resumes. You can't actually vet a lot of them because the information is quite weird. A lot of them go by names that are completely made up and have nothing to do with reality. There's the occasional good information person that you'll come across. We're inundated with the podcast motif. 2-3 people talking about stuff. I see a lot of this in the music management area, shill music management service companies, with just the usual bullshit. If you want to build your brand and, what is the aesthetic? Are you this? Are you that? But meanwhile, they're selling some sort of service, and then yet they won't talk about buying streams. They won't talk about buying likes and subscribers and bots to get views. All of these areas of shady shill is running rampant, and it's all because it's all wreckable, and anything that is wreckable will eventually get wrecked. It's not all doom and gloom. There's good people out there here and there. You can find them if you vet them, if you're interested in vetting them. I do get the feeling a lot of times that it's a little bit of an don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to know that guy's a fake. I don't want to know that he's full of shit. I don't want to know that he's selling drum packs that are worthless, that are regurgitated, basically borrowed from everybody else. I mean, my Instagram gets jammed up with drum packs of all the same drum sounds, but people don't want to know. They don't want to know that all it took was for the person that's selling the stuff to basically have the audacity to sell it. Are there any more ways to package 808, 909, and Lindrum kits? And you complain about Splice in that there's samples that are not cleared. I mean, what about these drum sounds that guys are just stealing from everywhere, left and right? They're basically cannibalizing each other. They're like eating each other's samples. You have enough. I don't see a lack of selection these days. I see a lack of taste, finesse, refinement. A big part of it is the fact that no one's working with any teams. I just watched an interview with Joni Ives. I have to look his name up. He's the guy that was involved with design with Apple during all the heyday years. And one of the things that he leaned into big time was the fact that he was obsessed with his creative team, with his team, with talented people, with resources. The first thing he wanted to do was bring in more and better people. Also, what was interesting was he said, yeah, I had a team with tons of diversity. And he wasn't talking about the diversity that we hear about on and on the past few years. He was talking about diversity, engineers, industrial engineers, software engineers, musicians, music producers, audio engineers. It had nothing to do with the person's identity on a diversity tip, if you know what I mean. He was looking for talent. Talent, talent, and talent. And only talent. And also, like, it sounded to me like he wanted good people. He wanted people who gave a shit about the product they were making. Gave a crap about, like, who they were working with each other and working for something. And then working for the consumer. That was like a big theme in his chat was, yeah, like, we're just constantly thinking about what it would feel like for the person who was buying the product and experiencing it, and we wanted their experience to be great. I felt that when we were making records, particularly in the 90s, into the 2000s, that we were really into the idea that the listener was going to freak out when they heard it. The fan was going to love it. We weren't interested in what other musicians were going to think, what anybody else was going to think. It was just a matter of like, whoever gets their hands on this, we want them to have an incredible experience. Listening, thinking about the thoughts behind the lyrics, how the music made them feel. It was all about that kind of stuff. And then it became wreckable.